Can Zeke deke again? Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Century Link Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here's Lewis. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
Third and long for Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Fielded just inside the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st down, Wilson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. But they watch the film as well, so they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Don't take forever, okay? Easy. Don't take too long.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Come on, tempo.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. To throw again is Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here's Lewis. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Second down, Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Jeff Swaim, 76 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Here's Wilson to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. Tight. 380. Got it. Got it. 12.
Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name DeMarcus Lawrence, they quake in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Prescott down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Nazir Jones breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The give is to Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Sean Lee in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Prescott on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. To the air again, Prescott. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Prescott completes it to Dixon. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 1st down, Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll start with the big one in Southern California. The first time in a couple decades that 2 LA teams are squaring off with one another. And it's the Chargers who are out in front. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Baker Mayfield, over 400 yards passing with 3 touchdown passes as well. Finally, let's get to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Larry Fitzgerald, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on. Gotta go, in and out.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, it stays up. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
On second down, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Run it.
On second down, here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
12.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Escapes the sack. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Graham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive in total 8 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They go to Elliott again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Cooper's got it. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
A first down carry by Elliott. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down throw for Prescott. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They go play action now. Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
Automatic
It's an
first
absolute
down.
killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Hearns brings it in. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Prescott. And Dixon has it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Prescott to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Here's Prescott. Completes it to Dixon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Prescott. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's McKissick. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll go again with McKissick. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on